Alright, so we're here again with our Cummins 12 valve swap. As you can see, the engine is actually in. The motor mounts are built. It is in and it does fit, barely. I don't know if you could see in there, but we made some motor mounts out of some angle iron, and we haven't cleaned them up or painted them yet, but most of the weight of this engine is being held by the Jeep now. Issues that we've had, well, for one thing, this engine is much taller than the 4-liter that came out of this truck. So it has required us to relocate some suspension parts. It's also much heavier, so we're either going to add some spacers or we're going to change out the front springs to carry the extra weight, because we haven't even put the front bumper back on yet. And if I were to let this engine hoist all the way down, it would, the front of the truck is going to squish down much lower. So obviously these springs are made for flex, not for strength. We need to find something that's a little more of a hybrid. Other notes are, if you're trying this yourself and you don't have the vehicle with this kind of a lift, I don't think it would work, just because the height of the engine is so much higher than this. The height of this Cummins is probably 30% higher. The width is similar, bigger but similar. The length is similar but bigger, but the height is the issue. I think we could actually close the hood now, which I don't really care actually if we close the hood or not. If we have to cut a hole in the hood, that'd be fine too, and it would go along with the motif for this truck. Other issues have been steering. The steering box is very much squished, so we've had to angle it and turn it down, which has caused issues for the pitman arm, because it won't work. Even though this is a long one, this one won't work. So we actually probably have to make a custom pitman arm, which not that big of a deal. We can weld something up nice and strong. We've also been working with, the exhaust is going to be no problem because it's going to come straight out the top. We flipped the turbo. That's going to work fine. It misses. The electronics from the Jeep, actually, as far as the alternator is concerned, is exactly the same. The alternator is a little bit different in that the pulley assembly is different. So we're either going to change the pulley or get a new alternator, but the electronics, the charging system is the same, which is a home run. We don't have to worry about the charging system. We figured out the fuel shutoff, which is right here. That's actually going to be easy. We're going to do it very, very simple. There's going to be a switch on the dash that you throw, and it's going to turn the fuel on. So that if there's ever an issue with the engine running away or anything of that nature, throw the switch. There's no more fuel. Great. We drained the tank. We ran most of the lines to the front. We could start this engine in about half an hour if we wanted to. I don't think we're going to do that so soon, but it's really simple. We had to do a little clearancing to get the starter in. Starter is in now and it works. Actually, I think it might not be in, but we know that it works. And then we have to worry about the clutch. There is a reservoir there for a hydraulic clutch that, there may be some things we have to do to make it work, but we're really kind of in good shape. The one major issue that we've had is that the RAM that we have, that's a 98 3500, had a driver side output for the differential, but as you can see, we need a passenger side output. So we are going to modify the transfer case that was already in the Jeep. I had to go ahead, and you can see here, I bought a kit to change it because the splines aren't the same. This is from the truck, And that was already attached to the transmission. And this is the one that came out of the Jeep. So you can see there's a kit with races and seals, and that's not something I'm going to do. I'm going to take it to a machinist and have them do it. But it's pretty simple. I mean, when I spoke with the person I bought the kit from online, he was like, hey, you need this, 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 and this. A little more than I understood, but I test fit it all, and it should all work. So that's going to fix that issue. So we're going to use the NV4500, I believe, is the transmission. Is this transmission here, and we're going to just mate it to the transfer case that was already in the Jeep, and then we may even be able to use the drive shafts and everything, because I think the length of this transmission is very similar to the one that was in there. So we may have lucked out with that, and I think that's pretty much it. So here we are again. We're just going to do a couple more modifications and another day or so of work, and we probably have this thing running. That'd be pretty cool. Then we got to figure out how to cool it, and that's going to be a whole nother issue. But I will do another video in a couple days.